Okay, I'm going to show you how to crochet slip-flops. I'm not good at writing crochet patterns, but I can crochet, so I'm going to show you how to do this. You can get a pair of cheap flip-flops, and this is going to be based off the 7/8 sizing, and it'll fit my foot, which I generally wear 8.5 to 9. These things run big, but I've also made a pair for my mother, and they fit her well too, and that goes down to as far as a 7, so you can actually follow the 7/8, but it also goes up to the 8 and 9. So what you want to do is, sorry, I need to tell you what I'm using. Okay, I am using the Lions brand unique yarn, which is a bulky weight with a 6.5 millimeter or K crochet hook. Okay, let me start that again so that so I can keep up better. So that is what I'm using. I'm using a bulky yarn and the size K or 6.5 millimeter crochet hook. So here we go. Crochet chain 20. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Alright. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to single crochet all the way down here, and then when I get to my end, I'm going to do some increasing. So I'll single crochet all the way down to the last one here. So go ahead and pause the video, single crochet, and then stop when you get to the last one. Okay, and then we'll go from there. Okay, you should have single crocheted 18, and in your last stitch what you're going to do is 4 single crochets and a single chain. So here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and then I should be able to work 18 single crochets back down the other side. So okay, now what you want to do is go in and single crochet into the same stitch 4 times. 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and go ahead and slip into the next chain, and that completes row 1. Okay, now going into round 2, chain 1, and then what you want to do is single crochet 18 again. So 1, 2, 3, and 18. Alright, now what you want to do is in the next chain do 2 single crochets in the single chain. So here's 1, and through that chain again, 2, then do a single crochet in the next chain, and then do 2 single crochets in the next chain. So 1, and then we're going to do another one, and 2. Okay, and then we're going to single crochet 19. So here's 1, 2, and 19. Okay, then you'll want to do a 2 single crochets in the next chain. So here's 1, and then send it through the chain again, and 2. Then send 1 through the next chain, 1 single crochet, and then do 2 single crochets in the next chain. Okay, so 2 single crochets. So here's 1 and 2, and then 1 single crochet, and then find your next chain and slip. And there is round 2. Okay, so then you want to chain 1 to do round 3. So you're going to single crochet at this point 17. So here's 1, 2, 3, and 17. Okay, at this point you want to do 2 single crochets and a single chain for the next 2 chains. So we're going to do 2 in this one. So here's 1, 2. We're going to go in the next one, 1, 2. Then we're going to go into the next one and just do 1 single crochet. And then on the next 2 chains, we'll do 2 single crochets in each chain. So we go 1, 2 in this chain. Then we'll do 2 in the next one. So there's the next one, we'll do 2 in it. So 1 and 2. Okay. Then at this point you are going to do 18 single crochets back down the other side. So here's 1, 2, okay, so in the next 2 chains we will do 2 single crochets. So here's 1, 2 in this chain, and then 2 in the next chain. So 1, 2, then a single one in the next chain, and then on the next 2 you're going to do 2 singles in each of those. So here's 1, 2 in this chain, and then the next chain is 1 and 2, and then you will do 2 single crochets. Okay, and slip through the next chain. This concludes round 3. Alright, we're ready to start round 4, so we're going to chain 1, and what we want to do is 18 single crochets. So here's 1, 2, 18. Okay. Then we want to do 2 single crochets in the next 2 stitches. So here's the next chain. So we're going to do 1, 2, and then the next one we're going to do 2, 1, 2, okay, and then we're going to single crochet 2 times, and then 1, 2, and then we're going to do 2 single crochets in the next 2 stitches. So here's 1, 2, and the same one, and the next one you're going to do 2. So 1, 2. Okay. Now at this point you are going to do 22 single crochets down the side here. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 22. Okay, now you want to do 2 single crochets in the next 2 chains. So here's the first one. So we're going to go 1 and 2. Move to the next one, do 2, 1 and 2. Then you're going to do single crochet in the next one, and single crochet in the next one. Then you're going to do 2 single crochets in the next 2 chains. So here's 1 and 2, and go into the next one, 1 and 2, and then now we should want to do 5 single crochets. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And slip through the next one. And that concludes round 4. Okay, we're ready to do round 5. So you're going to chain 1, and then you are going to do 17 single crochets. So here's 1, 2, and 17. At this point you'll want to do 2 single crochets in the next 4 chains. So you're going to do 2 in here, so 1, 2, and then you're going to 2 in the next one, 1, 2, 2 in the next one, 1, 2, and 2 in the next one, 1, 2, then 2 single crochets, 1 in that one, and 1 in the next one. Okay. And then you're going to do 2 single crochets in the next 4 as well. So you're going to go 1, 2, and 1, 2 in the next one, 1, 2, 2 in the next one, 1, 2, and 2 in the next one, 1, and 2. Okay, at this point you'll want to do 22 single crochets down the line here. Okay, so here's 1, 2, and 22. Okay, at this point you'll want to do 2 single crochets in the next 4 chains. So here's 1 and 2 in this one, and 2 in this one, and 2 in this one, and 2 in this one. Then you'll single crochet for the next 2 chains, 1 and 1. Okay, and then you'll single crochet 2 in the next 4 chains. So here's 1, 2, and then 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2. Okay, make sure that's it. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now what we want to do is single crochet for 6. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then slip right there, and that is round 5. Now there's only 7 rounds in the sole, and then I'll show you how to do the top. So we have 2 more rounds to do, and we should have the sole, and you can see that's developing. Okay, so that completes round 5. Next we're going to do round 6. Okay, we're going to do round 6. We're going to go ahead and we're going to chain 1, and we're going to do a slip stitch through 8 chains. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now we're going to do a single crochet in the next 15. So here's 1, 2, 15. Now we're going to do a double crochet for 18. I'm going to chain 2, slip, we're going to do double crochet for 18. So here's 1, here's 2, 3, 4, 18. Okay. Now what we want to do is single crochet for 30. Okay. So now we're going to single crochet for 30. So here's 1, 2, 3, 30. Okay, then I'm going to slip the next 7. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And we should have something that should fit right over the top of one of these. Okay, as you can see. Now, what we want to do next is we want to go in and round 7. Hold on. Let me look at this real quick. I may need to adjust my pattern. Alright, it looks like I need to slip 8, 9, and 10. Okay. And go. Alright, now we're ready for round 7, and this is the only thing that's going to change up which foot you're doing. Is on 1, you do round 1 through 6 like you normally do, okay. You'll repeat this, and the first time you do round 7 you're going to go through all the inside chains, okay. And then when you do the other foot, what you're going to do is you're going to go through all the outside chains, okay. And all that'll do is change the fold so that you can just flip it to do the other side and keep it really simple. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a double crochet in all the inner. We're going to do a double crochet in all the inner chains, okay. Sorry. And you should have it for 80 inner chains. You're just going to do it all the way around though, okay, if it's not exactly 80. Okay, so you're just going to go all the way around and just putting it into the inner part of the chain, okay. Not through the whole chain, just through the inner part. You're creating a fold up, okay. So go ahead at this point, pause the video, and complete a double crochet all the way around using just the inner half of the chain, okay. And when we come back, we should be finished up with this, and as you can see, that is folding down like that. So what this is going to eventually do is when you cut all this off, it's going to be able to be hot glued on like this all the way around, and no hot glue on the top, okay. And what that's going to do is you're going to do, again, 2 of these. When you do the second one, you do round 1 through 6 just like you would, but instead of doing on the inner side, you're going to do on the outer, and that should fold it the other direction, okay. So pause the video, get your double crochet all the way around, and then when we come back, I'll show you how to finish up the sole and then do the top part. And we're going to be cutting off all this to where you only have a sole, and you're going to need a high temp hot glue gun to attach everything. Okay, I have one done, and that was when I did the inside of the half of the chain, okay. And now I'm going to show you how to go in and do the other half, to where you don't have to, I've already done all the same rows, but instead I'm going to go into the back half. So front and back. I'm going to go into, excuse me, 1, 2. Alright, going to go into the back half of the chain so that it sits the other direction. Okay, there's the back half. I'm going to do this all the way around, and that will get you your other side to where all you have to do is flip it. Just sit there and be on the other foot. Okay, so go ahead and send it through the back. As you can see, it's starting to set the other direction. Alright, so you're going to do that all the way around where you're going into this half rather than this half. Okay? Now, if you want to, so that we're already prepped and ready, go ahead and dismantle your .99-cent soles. They're done like that, and then you'll know that you can. This is actually the wrong foot. This sits on this, going to sit on the other one. But you can see that it goes in and it fits right over. See? And you'll be able to glue that in easily. So you'll be able to glue that onto your sole easily enough. Okay. So when we come back, I'll show you how to do the top half, but you can go ahead and dismantle both your flip-flops, and then we'll be ready to do the top section and go from there. Okay, we've completed them and added them onto our soles. I haven't glued them in or anything. The only problem with using the unique yarn is you get a unique pair of slip-flops. They usually look like they belong to two different ones, but if you like that unique look, it'll be fun. But what I'm going to show you next is how to go about making the top. So I'm going to get me a slip knot going here. And I'm going to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright. I'm going to use one of my little things from my flip-flop and put it in as like a stitch marker. Okay, now I'm going to then go in and chain 25. 2, 3. Now at this point, what I want to do is go in and slip 8 of those. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. What that's do is that's going to go through the hole there. Okay, we're going to do that the same on each side. So this is actually the front. Okay, now what that's doing by slipping it back is adding the support to be able to handle you walking around on it Okay, next, we're going to go in and single crochet down to our stitch marker here. Okay, so now we're going to just single crochet and go 1, okay, so single crocheted 16. Then what I want to do is take my stitch marker out, and I'm going to slip through 1/2 of the chains all the way down to the base. So I'm going to go in and just slip my way down to 1/2 and then slip my way up the other half. That gives you a lot of support between your toes. Okay, so we're going to slip our way down. And we go in and slip our way back up 10, so in the other half. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Actually, excuse me, it's to slip your way back up 9. Alrighty, now this is going to go between your toes, and there's going to be a lot of support there, okay? Now, next. What you want to do is you want to chain 25 again. Okay, and then slip back 8. Okay, and then single crochet your way down to the base again. Now if you don't want anything frilly, we're fixing to be finishing up, okay? But if you want to have something a little bit more fun and have like a little ruffle around the top, I'm going to show you how to do that. But go ahead and single crochet your 16. And my last one. Then you can send it through the middle and slip it there. Okay. If you don't want anything fancy, you can stick with that. Alright. This is going to go through the bottom, and you're going to hot glue that. Now, I have a trick I do. If it ends up being bigger than I like, I usually just fold it back up top and then sew it down. But most of the time it works out fine. Okay, so if you want it simple, you can leave it like this, or you can do like a picot stitch around these sections here. Okay, so you can make it wider if you want. This is just kind of like a guideline as to how to go about doing it. So what I'm probably going to do is go in and do me a little kind of ruffled edge. Okay, and doing this project with this sizing will take basically the whole skein of Unique. You'll have some left over, but not a whole lot. It'll take basically the whole skein. But at this point, what you will do is go in and I'll chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then send it through the next chain, and slip it, and then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, send it through the next chain, excuse me, slip it, 1, 2, 3, send it through, slip, oops, and slip, then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and send it through the next one, and slip, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, send it through the next one. And what I'm going to do is go and do this all the way around, and then work my way down through here, stop here, work my way up through here, stop here, work my way down through here. Okay? And I'm just going to do that all the way around. I'll show you how I go about stopping up here and moving my way back down, so that you don't have to sit there and cut the yarn umpteen gajillion times or anything. You can do this without cutting it. Alright, so go ahead and continue the chain 3 and slip through the next chain, and do that all the way down to where you start slipping here, so it should be about down to here. And then I'll show you how to go about flipping to the other side and working your way back up. Alright, but you can see that it'll start adding a nice little fluffy ruffle for you to add. And you're going to make 2 of these, okay, so that you can add them into your feet here, and I'll show you how to finish these up, okay? So go ahead and pause the video, get yourself chained up to there, and I'll show you how to continue. Now what I want to do is go in from behind here, and then just slip into, so go behind it, and then just slip like that, and then I'm ready to go down the other side. Okay, now I'll show you how I go about getting down to the other side. And basically what I do is the same thing. I slip to here, work my way down, and then slip my way from the back side, and then work my way down. Okay, so go ahead and finish up your tops. When we come back, we will assemble the actual flip-flop area to where it becomes your slip-flop, and then you'll have a comfy pair of flip-flops to wear around the house. Okay, we are to assembly. Now, if you want to kind of make sure these look like they go together, you can put the one that looks closest to this one onto this one, and the one that looks closest to this one onto this one. Alright, so I've already been warming up my glue gun, and what I want to do is glue on my base first. Okay, and the way I know which side I want to do is when I started doing the double crochet, I made sure I was on this side. So where it curves out more is where you want that to go. So that's how you know which foot to go on. Now, I have to make sure I take my tape off there and go ahead and start gluing. Try to get this as much in camera as possible. So you want to add a liberal amount of glue to it and start sticking it on here. Now, make sure you get your start good, because you don't want to go crooked. Alright, so I think that's exactly where I want it. You want to kind of smash that down. Once you get started, then you can just go around the edge. And you're just going to do this all the way around the edge. And you want to try to make sure that your fold down is going right where it should. Okay. You just keep doing this all the way around. And you don't have to do anything with the main part of the foot, okay? What's going to lock that down is actually going to be your foot strap that you're going to glue on. But you got to get them through the holes. Okay. Okay, working our way down to the other side. Thing about glue, hot glue and yarn, I find it really adheres well. Now, you may have to do a little bit more pulling on this side to make it fit snug, but it shouldn't be much of anything. This should fit pretty darn good. Alright, and what I like to do with this tail is just kind of shove it up in the middle. And then you'll need to add more glue to this last little bit. Go ahead and smash all that down. Now what I like to do when I'm done is add a bit of glue to the around the bottom half, because this is going to get the most wear and tear on it. But that's how you go in and you glue on your sole. Okay, so your sole is glued on. Alright, you will want to get your crochet hook for this, because you didn't make a hole for this. You didn't want a hole for this either. Alright, so you find out where your front is. Okay, then you're going to stick the crochet hook through the hole and go right up. Then you can slip it through some chains there at the end, and then gently pull through. Alright, there. Now, you want to unwind this, make sure it doesn't get wound. Okay, then you want to stick this through here, grab your end, and gently pull through while trying not to get, there we go. Okay, and there is that. And if it seems kind of snug when you pull through, that's okay. You kind of want it that way. Make sure it's not curled up any. Alright, you're going to grab that end, pull it through. Okay. Alright, and you don't, it's going to stretch some anyway. Okay, so here's where you're going to use a lot of glue. Alright, if you think you can go in and you can and knot it, go for it. Alright, it'll secure itself even better if you can go in and knot it. Alright. You might not be able to knot it so easily, but if you can, good. If not, it's okay. Sometimes you can do it with the hook itself. But if you can't, I'll show you how to go about it if you can't knot it. Okay. I always like to try to knot this in too. It gives it a nice knot to go in and really lock in there. Okay. The more you can lock it in, the better. Okay, now, here's what you want to do. I'm going to cut that now. Now that you've got that in, what you want to do is you want to go to the base and liberally put some glue. Pretty you can smash that in. Try not to burn yourself, that's my downfall there. Okay, and you're going to do that over here too. Okay, and because I wasn't quite able to go in and knot this, I'm going to show you how to go and do that. If you are having a hard time trying to knot it, you're going to wind it up like you did knot it and shove it in there. And if you're prone to getting burnt, get something you can kind of smash in there. Okay, because once you get this generally set, you're going to go in and you're going to add glue all over the top of it. Alright, because this is going to get a lot of traction, and you want to make sure it's really well secured. It'll take a lot of glue. Okay. You can push that down in there. Alright. So this is the assembling. You can kind of pull that through. And there's your toe area. Now, what you want to do after this is to set it up. You're just going to put glue all over the top of that. And then when it gets cool enough, you can smash it down and flatten it out. But it really sets it in. I've not had problems. I've done this in a Loom knit version, and it works just fine. It lasts until you wear through the yarn. So, and then what I like to do is add a little bit of glue to the edge here, and that way it stays real solid. Okay, so you can kind of smash that in, make sure that's really nice and solid around the edge. Okay, because that's your weak spots. You gotta cater to your weak spots. Okay, let it cool. You're gonna do the same thing for the other side here, but you're gonna let it cool, and then when it gets to a point where it's kind of tacky and you feel like you can touch it without burning the crap out of yourself, you'll be in good shape. Okay, then you can smash it flat, or you can not. You don't have to, but I find it sets it a little bit better if you smash it flat. But that is how you assemble it, and you now have a flip-flop. Okay. Alright, I think this might be cool enough for me to smash down. Okay. You just smash it all down. It's solidly in there. Okay. That is how you assemble it. Okay. And if you find this is too loose, what you can do is you can go in and you can fold that back, and you can just sew it down on the edge, and that'll fix that problem. Okay, but it should fit nicely. But that is how you make a slip flop in crochet. Now, if you're one of my Loom knitting subscribers, there is a pattern for it in Loom knitting. You don't have to do crochet. If you don't know how to do crochet, there is a version in Loom knitting. And I'll put a link below for the Loom knit version, okay? So go ahead and do the same thing with the other foot, and that is how you make a slip flop in crochet.